build, and I decided to keep them in there because they do show a good, timeline of the events of everything I've done, and I'll try and explain as you see them what's happening, and I hope you enjoy them. So here you see how I welded it to the floor and used the 1/8 inch steel plate on the 3-inch girder I put in there, C-channel, and secured it really bionically to the uprights there. And here I built the frame out from the firewall to support the fenders, and that worked out really well. And I painted all the frame and everything, and it started to look a lot better, ready for doing the engine mounts and the transmission mounts, which we'll get to in a minute. I did replace a bunch of the bushings and things on the suspension, which is one of the main reasons I bought this 2003 truck. I actually really love how the Dodge Ram 1500s ride, being a bit softer than the other models, and that was kind of perfect for my monster car build. So also it was lifted, and so I didn't have to lift it, and it's kind of hard to find a lifted 2-wheel drive truck. And the reason why I went with a 2-wheel drive on this one, I did a 4-wheel drive on my first build, which was the 61 Ford Fairlane, the white one, which you've seen. And in all the years I've used that vehicle, I've never used the 4-wheel drive part of it, because it's basically a street vehicle. Actually, I did use it once to pull out a stump, and I actually broke my front drive shaft. So that was not good. Anyway, you see how I welded the inner fender here, and I kind of made it flat so that it allowed the trunk floor to be flat instead of a hump going up there, which worked out really well. And you'll see where I show pictures of rusty sections before and after, and then I'll cut that out and weld it in. Anyway, you can see the big flat trunk in there. Also, the gutter of the trunk there is totally rusted, which you'll see how I rebuild that later. So I'm aligning the engine in there. I did actually have I do have a 360 Mopar engine, which has full 408 stroke internals in it, pushing about 500 horsepower, which is a really great engine, which I was thinking about putting that in there, but its power band is actually higher up for high performance, so I think I'll wait until I find a donor vehicle to put that in to make a really high performance car out of it. And this one, I can't remember exactly what the horsepower was of this one. I think it was 475. It's a Chevy small block, and I think the torque curve is kind of medium in this one. I would have preferred the torque to be really down low for the monster car, but it still works out really well. I did end up putting a 411 gear in it, which helped a lot with the big wheels. Anyway, as you can see, there's a lot of pictures. And another reason for doing this is often when I watch videos and I'm trying to locate something, I think, man, it would have been good if they had done really good video or photographs of every angle of the engine, just so I knew where this part was. And with it sitting on the frame like this, it kind of gives you an exploded view, so it gives a lot of people a chance to see how everything's going together. So I made a quick video just coming up here, so I could show Roger, my buddy at Dependable Drive Shaft here, who makes my drive shafts, and giving him all the measurements, etc. Hey Roger, I'm doing a monster car build, and this is the frame which I've shortened. It's actually a 2003 Dodge 1500 frame, which I've shortened and done lots of mods on it. This is a 355 engine with a turbo 350 transmission. So I have measured from here, this flat plate here, to
the end of the turbo 350 transmission here. And so you've got that measurement, and this slides in, you know, as you know how much. And anyway, I've written down all the measurements, and hopefully they're correct, which I'm sure they are. We've done enough drive shafts together. So I'm making this video just so you know what I've measured from, and hopefully I'll drop it off to you tomorrow and can have it back in not too distant future. Hey buddy, hope you're doing good, and thank you.
I call these my Mad Max traction bars. I really like the idea of doing something different and having kind of some springs in there instead of having the rotating shackles, which allow a little bit of movement. But it didn't really turn out to be strong enough, and I actually did end up changing it. But with a little bit more work, I could have perfected that, and I do really like the look of it. So I cleaned up my transmission. I wire wheeled the hell out of it, got it looking almost perfect, and then I painted it silver. So I don't really know the whole history of the transmission because it was in a car that we brought. In fact, it was originally in the Pro Touring Camaro build that we've got videos of, and it's meant to be a rebuilt transmission. Anyway, so far it's been working really well. It's a 350, turbo 350, and I've been very happy with it. So far, no problems. So you'll see how the frames come together, and it's looking really nice, and you'll see how I fitted everything. And I bought my transmission mount there, which worked out really well. Fitted my drive shaft from Roger there at Dependable Drive Shafts here in Pinellas County, and he's done a lot of drive shafts for me. He does a really nice job, really nice guy. Anyway, I put my gas tank in there, which came out of a 71 Cougar. Well, it was a new gas tank made for a 71 Cougar, fitted exactly how I wanted it. I made the brackets to make it fit correctly. And with everything being painted, I was trying to get the chassis frame, everything done. So all I basically had to do after I had finished the body and put it on the car was do the wiring and connect up the steering joint, and everything else would be done. And obviously connect the brake lines and stuff. But I put all the brake lines on, the fuel lines on, the fuel pump in, and it was looking really good, as you can see. And you know, custom touches of my foot rails, front bars and everything just gave it a really nice look. Also added to the strength of it for side impact and things like that. When I build something, I do actually put quite a lot of thought into everything that I do from the point of view of repairing it later, making sure that there's access, easy access to everything. So that's one nice thing about building everything yourself. So as you can see, it's got a nice serpentine system on it. Makes it look really sweet, and don't have problems with the belts and everything. Although my belts will be put under quite a lot of tension because I've got a hydro boost brake system, power steering.
The frame's basically ready now.
All on the same pump.
I get back to working on the car. So
it works out really good.
Engine's in. It's a Blueprint high performance Chevy small block. So I made the engine mounts and the transmission mount. It's a turbo 350, and put new bushings in the front, new sway bar bushings, new shocks, power steering. Welded the power steering hose from the Dodge to the Chevy. Put the fuel line in, all the vacuum hoses connected. Drive shaft was shortened with the correct ends put on it, chrome moly ends. The ceramic coated headers, and stainless steel exhaust system, all in. Magnaflow mufflers. It's got Corvette tips. It's got a 1970 Mercury gas tank. I made brackets to fit that. It's got a Carter fuel pump mounted to the rubber bushing that originally was for the exhaust. And I got new wheels and tyres, which are here, which are going to go on it. So basically the whole frame will be like brand new. It'll be like a new vehicle. And should ride really nice. It's actually got quite soft suspension. I put soft rated shocks in it because I want it to kind of ride like a car. Even though it's a monster car, I still want it to have nice soft suspension. So it kind of is the height of a monster car, can go anywhere, but rides like a Cadillac. And it's got drop spindles on the front to lift it. Gives it a nice high stance. And serpentine kit. I still got to detail the engine. I give it a quick clean, but it's been sitting a while. I'm going to give it a I did all the spark plug gaps and stuff. I did my timing marks so that I can see it easy when I start it up. Zeroed top dead center here, 35 degrees here, so that it's really clear when I set my timing. And I'm going to give it an oil change because it's been sitting a while, even though it's done probably less than 1,000 miles on that engine, because we never had it in anything long enough to dial it in. Just basically used it as a running bed. So this is its permanent home. And that's it. So the car's coming along pretty good. It looks a long way from done, but actually maybe another 12, maybe another 8 weeks I could have it finished, maybe 12. But pretty simple.
Another reason I went with a two-wheel drive trap frame was because I really liked the look from the front. When you don't have the drive shaft going across, it gives you that really high look. On top of that, the weight saving of having a two-wheel drive over four-wheel drive, if I remember correctly, I think it was about a 700-pound weight saving. So having something that you're never going to use, or hardly ever going to use, pulling around that extra 700 pounds seemed a little bit pointless to me. And this is kind of built as a fun family street vehicle, so there was a lot of good reasons for it. These were the body mounts, and I was going to put new ones on, and then I was a little bit horrified when I looked them up to see how expensive good quality ones were. They're really expensive, and I didn't really want to put the cheaper plastic ones in. So I didn't see any damage on this. The rubber seemed fine, no dry rotting or anything. So I actually wire wheeled all the components of it, cleaned them up really good. And then I painted them all and reused them. And I believe the factory body mounts are really good quality. So that worked out pretty good. The transmission all painted up and in looked really nice. And as you can see, the frame and the engine transmission all came together really nicely. And how I did the well, you'll see that coming up, how I do the tunnel in the floor and everything, which I only have to do a minor tunnel because the clearance, I don't need a lot of clearance because the body's raised higher than it would have been originally, which gives me a nice flat floor inside the vehicle. Anyway, it's coming along really nicely. Very happy with it. So at this point, I lower the body down onto the frame, and it allows me to see how all my proportions are coming along. You know, how the wheels center in the wheel wells, I'm kind of figuring out exactly the height I want it off the frame, and it's starting to look really good. As you can see, it's sitting quite nicely. A little bit low over the wheels, but I'll probably deal with that with suspension modifications to get my height exactly where I want it. You want a little bit more clearance than you see there, but I'll play around with that later, and it's all coming along proportion wise beautifully. Been marking my fenders, working out how to elongate my wheel well so it kind of looks semi-factory. You can see my sill or rocker panel is a lot deeper there than the factory car, which most people would notice, but I think the factory rocker was about 3 inches and this is 5 inches, and it's as you know from previous videos, it's 5 inches by 8 inch thick metal plates inside and outside, with 1 by 1 1.5 by 1.5 tubing, angle iron. I mean, it's like steel girders down the side, so it's a really good arrangement. You can see how my front supports for my fenders worked out, and here you can see how much I've built up the firewall there. I mean, talking about a firewall, that is bionic. And I go over the car afterwards and I re-weld everything. I think I used 5 of the large gas bottles in my welding. I did so much welding on this car.
Literally a flat plate will just go in here.
It ain't going to fall apart, I can tell you that.
This is just under the dash, so basically the whole floor will be flat. But we'll just give it a little hump there, and as you can see, got like a battleship.
You can see on the firewall there where I've got the plate made up for the power boost brake system, which I basically took a template from the truck and made up the plate with the bolts so that all my 2003 Dodge truck items could bolt straight into the firewall, even though if I wanted to upgrade it, because there's obviously different brake systems you can get for the Dodge, which I ended up going with a Dodge diesel brake system. So everything's basically how I want it to be now. So the next videos, which I'll do in episode 8, will be me starting the bodywork. Well, I mean, I've already done a lot of the bodywork, but that's been mostly the fabrication to make the monster car fit the frame. Now I'll actually have to start doing the bodywork to fix everything on the upper body to make it really nice and get it ready for paint. And that is going to be a lot of work, and you'll see some pretty drastic rust, not only in the trunk area, but the roof.
The base of the windscreen is at 5 feet. Bottom of the door is about 34.5 inches. Top of the door, again about 5 feet. Total height, I would say about 77 inches. The fin, top of the fin is about 64 inches. And the trunk edge is about 44 inches. is about 43 inches.
So there was certain measurements, you know, I wanted to keep in mind for street legal reasons. Your headlights have to be a certain height, your backlights have to be a certain height, your bumpers can't exceed a certain height. So believe it or not, I actually kept all the criteria within my legal limits to keep it street legal. And here in Florida, they're pretty easy going on a lot of the aspects of a large vehicle like this.
For the tunnel, and as you can see, I didn't make it overly large, but there'll be plenty of clearance. And the front of the seats sit here. So it'll feel nice and large inside, and I think from a safety point of view, that's going to be pretty damn strong. I'm going to put sheet metal on the outside, and I'm thinking about insulating in here and actually putting sheet metal on the inside as well, because of the heat from the headers, so we don't get much heat coming in from the floor. So I'll probably sheet metal it on either side except where the gas and brake pedal is. I'll let that be a little bit deeper there. And I'm doing a thick 1/8 metal plate across here. But I didn't want to, I took the beam out here because it's pretty close to the drive shaft. But this way it gives the drive shaft a nice 2 inches of clearance. And if I have a 1/8 inch plate there, if it ever breaks, that will protect any damage coming on the floor. There's a whole bunch of frame underneath here too, so it can't really go anywhere, but be pretty safe. And I am going to put a center console in here because I want rear and front cameras in it, and some drink holders, and yeah, I want the gear stick quite high. And I'm going to have AC underneath here, so I'll incorporate the AC into the center console.